What's going on, guys? So we're going to talk a little bit about Microsoft. Okay, so if you guys are following the market like the last hour of today's session, you knew that we hit a strong rejection across the overall markets, especially in the triple Qs and those NASDAQ 100 stocks. You can see here off these lows here of 285.24, we kind of found a little bit of an intraday bottom here. We did make a little bit of push up, 1, 2, 3 hours worth of upward momentum. If you were looking for a short position, then obviously you can just kind of go back on the 50-day moving average here on the 1 hour time frame. See, every time we kind of came into this area, it was going to be a little bit of a problem, meaning that if you were long, cover your position here. If you're short, you can look to enter this position here and then close out your position if we do reconfirm this 50-day moving average going forward. With that being said, I thought that maybe we would get a little bit of rejection, come back down to the 10 and 20-day moving average, kind of find a little bit of support here, maybe just flag it out into after hours. We knew that we had Microsoft's earnings coming after hours, depending on their earnings, seeing what the stock kind of did there. But the stock not only got pulled very, very aggressively along with the index on the triple Qs. At one point in time after the market hours closed, the NASDAQ futures were down almost 500 points. Okay, on the triple Qs alone, we closed at 345.11, and at one point in the first hour and a half after the market closed, we were trading down at $341. So like the amount of volatility up and down that is happening in the stock market is completely unreal. If we just take what happened yesterday, for example, where we were kind of down almost at 1.5% on the day in the triple Qs, to completely reverse that move 100% and to actually close green on the day is absolutely insane. So I had to look it up because I'm a history buff and I want to know if history is going to repeat itself. There's only been 4 times in the stock market history going back 80, 100 years that we have been down on an index over 4% to completely intraday reverse that move 100%. 4 times. So if anybody has been trading for 5 years, for 10 years, you cannot tell me that you've seen this type of volatility before. Now, I've been trading for 5.5 years, going on 6 years, full time for 3. I've traded through the pandemic crisis. I've traded through some minor pullbacks and drawbacks. I've never traded in a full-on blown out bear market. Now, are we in a full-on blown out bear market? You know, some would say we are, but quote unquote, according to what, is considered a bear market, it's at 20% correction on the index. And currently we are like 17, 18% correction so far on the triple Qs. I mean, in my opinion, let's call it a bear market. We're trading below the 50-day moving average, the 200-day moving average, so forth and so forth. But with that being said, Microsoft releases earnings, gets completely destroyed in the after hour session, comes all the way down to a low price of $269. Mind you that we closed at $288.49. So I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, this is Netflix all over again. They're going to sell this stock off. The index started to fall from 345 to 341. Lo and behold, I jump on my computer, took a little bit of a break, went to go eat some lunch, come back, take a look at the market, and I see Microsoft trading as high as $299 in the after hour session. I mean, we're talking an hour after they sold this thing off to $269. Not only did it recover its full move, completely engulfed the selling and is now trading at the same level we were trading at before we broke out before we got rejected at the 50-day moving average. Talk about insane moves. Now, what's to be expected? I think that if you're looking to scalp, you're looking to day trade, and you're trying to follow a 1, 2, or 5 minute time frame, you're going to get absolutely destroyed. There's going to be so many false moves unless the day is just overall trending down, overall trending up. It's going to be very, very hard to catch these moves. These moves are flushing out, finding a little bit of support, bouncing higher, look like they want to break out over some resistance, break out, give you a little peekaboo, say hi, and then immediately get pulled back in. We're going to have to zoom out to the daily time frames. We're going to have to zoom out to the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frames here. What we're looking at going into tomorrow for a stock like Microsoft here, if I just kind of zoom in on this daily chart here, what we have here, today's lows 285.24. any selling pressure that let's say we do continue some of this bounce. I mean, this is crazy. Microsoft giving up a little bit of the move right now, but let's say, for example, we have some little bounce. We come into, the 5-day moving average. Maybe the market doesn't like what old Jay Powell says in the meeting notes that come out from an FOMC meeting tomorrow, and let's say we roll over. We're looking for a clear short position under 285.24 on Microsoft. 285.24, definite clear short position. Our profit target's going to be down here at 276. We're going to come down here, test these lows. That's what I'm assuming. And then if we want to go to the long side, I really don't see a trade on the long side unless we get over 294, 295. Now, currently we're trading at 296.60 in the after hour session. So now you can sit back and say, well, hey, we're already over that level. What should I do? Well, what you should do is kind of be patient and see what the overall market does. We can't just start jumping every time the market goes up and the market goes down. These kind of market conditions are very, very extreme. You can see we came down here once, this 268 level, then we kind of bounced off into today's session. We're right here on the 4-hour chart. We're making highs, trying to reclaim this 20-day moving average. We are going to have room to 304, 305 on Microsoft. So let's say that there is some sort of significant rally tomorrow. Let's say the stocks snap back and we just rally beyond oblivion, right? And you're long. You happen to be long. Please take profits between 303 and 305. Just take profits between 303 and 305. Make everyone's life a lot easier. No matter how big the win is, no matter how small the loss is, depending on what side of the play that you're playing, this is going to be the next area of resistance. We are going to have further resistance at 307.37 on a 4-hour time frame. So you're going to want to kind of play these levels accordingly. You can see here, we're going to really need to get over this channel of 300. I think once we get over $300, $301, we potentially are going to have that next leg up into 304. So between 300 and 304 is going to be where you're going to want to start to take profits on this stock. Mind you that on the 1-hour time frame, we do have the 200 simple moving average at 307. So if we do happen to just blow through this level, because right now it doesn't seem like any stock is respecting any technical level. So with that being said, just use these levels to take profits. First profit taking 304, 303, 305. Second profit take 306, 307. See what we kind of do there. In order for us to really call us any kind of significant dead cat bounce, we're going to need to bust over the 200-day moving average, come back to the 200-day moving average at around 300 to 304, consolidate sideways at least for a day, and then start to make a move higher. And then when we take out this top here, we can kind of say, okay, now maybe we're trending up. Wild time in the market. My best advice to anyone out there trading and navigating these crazy murky waters is just to stay patient, use bigger time frames, have conviction. Meaning that if we're trending down and we haven't put in a higher high yet, then the overall momentum is still to the downside. So if we look at Microsoft, higher high here, or our first higher high here, then we made a higher high or a lower high, and then a lower high, and then a lower high. We tried to break out, complete false breakout. This is a lower high, and now here we are in this after hours session, pushing up higher. So can we break over 300? This level here is going to break this downward channel. If we get over 300, then potentially we have a trade come 304, back down to 300, and then start to rally up. Obviously it won't look like that, but we could start to rally up higher. Just an insane day in the markets. Let me know what you guys think about Microsoft. Did you guys buy puts on Microsoft for earnings? Are you guys holding calls? Did you guys decide to stay away? Let me know your thoughts on what you guys were doing with Microsoft. Let me know what you guys think.